the moment you decide to begin. There comes a point in every life when silence feels heavier than noise. When you wake up one day and realize that you've been living on autopilot, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for motivation, waiting for clarity that never fully arrives. That's the moment when something deep inside whispers, "Start anyway." This whisper is quiet, almost invisible. It doesn't shout. It doesn't promise instant success. But if you listen closely, you'll feel it. That small spark that says, "I can't keep living the same way anymore." Most people ignore it. They distract themselves with comfort, with excuses, with busyness. But a rare few, choose to honor that whisper. They decide to begin even when they don't feel ready. The truth is, no one ever feels ready. No one ever wakes up one morning with all the answers. Every successful person you've ever admired started from confusion, fear, and uncertainty. The only difference is they didn't let that uncertainty stop them. They started walking in the dark, trusting that the path would appear with each step. Because it always does. Life doesn't reveal the full staircase. It shows you one step and waits for your courage to take it. The first step is never easy. It's uncomfortable. It's full of self-doubt. You'll ask yourself, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? But here's a truth most people never understand. Failure doesn't mean you weren't good enough. It means you were brave enough to try. Every great life begins with a decision. Not a grand event, not a perfect plan, but a single decision. A quiet, personal choice to begin. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to say, "This is the day I stop waiting and start moving." When you take that first step, the universe responds. Doors you didn't even know existed begin to open. People you never expected to meet suddenly cross your path. It's as if the world was waiting for your courage to appear before showing you what's possible. But here's the key. You must begin with faith. Not faith in luck, not faith in miracles, but faith in yourself. Faith that even if you stumble, even if it takes longer than you hoped, you'll keep going. There's power in motion. When you move, energy begins to shift. Your thoughts sharpen. Your confidence grows. You begin to understand that action, not waiting, creates clarity. If you wait for confidence before acting, you'll wait forever. Confidence doesn't come first. It's built through movement. Every small step you take strengthens your belief that you're capable. Every little victory becomes a foundation for the next. So start where you are, with what you have, right now. It doesn't matter if it's messy, if it's imperfect, if it's small. Because progress is progress, no matter the speed. The mountain is climbed one step at a time. Not by thinking about the top, but by moving your feet. There's a quiet kind of strength that comes from simply beginning. You don't need to shout it to the world. You don't need anyone's permission or validation. The start is personal, sacred even. Maybe your goal is to build a business, write a book, change your health, or just rediscover your purpose. Whatever it is, promise yourself one thing. You won't give up before you even start, because too many dreams die in the waiting room. People wait for motivation, wait for perfect timing, wait for someone to believe in them. But the truth is, you are the permission you've been waiting for. Today, decide to begin. Decide to move even if it's slow. Decide to grow even if it's uncomfortable. Decide to believe even if doubt still lingers. One day, you'll look back and realize that this moment, this quiet decision, was the turning point. Not the day you achieved the dream, but the day you finally had the courage to start chasing it. Because beginnings are sacred. They hold the power of everything that follows. And once you start, truly start, life will never be the same again. The weight of consistency. Once you begin, a strange thing happens. The first few days feel magical, full of energy, excitement, and fresh hope. You start believing again. You feel unstoppable. But soon the excitement fades and the real test begins. That's where most people quit. Not because they're weak, but because they mistake motivation for discipline. Motivation is like a spark, bright but short-lived. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark is gone. You see, success doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most consistent. Those who show up even when they don't feel like it. Those who keep pushing forward quietly when no one is watching. Consistency doesn't always look impressive. It's not loud or glamorous. It's the unseen hours, the boring repetitions, the days when nothing seems to change. Yet you keep going. That's the secret. Consistency transforms average effort into unstoppable momentum. Because every action, no matter how small, compounds over time. A drop of water falling on a rock may seem weak, but let it fall long enough, and it carves its mark deep into stone. That's what consistency does. It shapes your destiny silently. In the beginning, you'll question yourself. You'll wonder if your effort even matters. You'll look around and see others moving faster, achieving more, and doubt will whisper, "You're behind." But remember this, consistency beats speed. The one who walks steadily every day will always surpass the one who sprints for a moment and gives up. It's not how fast you move. It's how long you're willing to keep moving. Progress often hides. You won't see results immediately. You'll look in the mirror and think nothing's changing. But deep inside, something is shifting. Your mindset, your habits, your identity. The transformation always begins invisibly. Then one day it shows itself in ways you never expected. You'll look back and realize you've come too far to even remember who you used to be. That's the gift of consistency. It doesn't just build results. It builds you. But let's be honest, staying consistent is hard. There will be days when you're tired, when everything feels pointless, when the world seems to move against you. That's when you need to remember why you started. Your why is your anchor. It holds you steady when storms hit. If your why is weak, you'll quit when it gets tough. But if your why is strong, no amount of struggle can break you. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Remind yourself every morning, I'm not doing this for quick rewards. I'm doing this to become who I was meant to be. And that version of you, the one you're becoming, is worth every ounce of effort. Every day you show up, you're making a silent declaration. I may not be perfect, but I'm here. I may be tired, but I'm trying. I may not see results yet, but I'm planting seeds. Consistency is about faith. Faith that the seeds you plant today will bloom tomorrow. No farmer plants a seed and expects a tree the next day. They water it, protect it, and wait. You have to do the same with your dreams. It's not about intensity, it's about persistence. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing something every day. There will be days when you fall. You'll skip the workout. You'll miss a goal. You'll lose motivation. That's okay. Consistency isn't perfection. It's returning after failure. It's showing up again after you've stumbled. The secret isn't never fall. The secret is never stay down. Every comeback makes you stronger. Every restart builds resilience. The one who refuses to quit can never truly lose. So keep showing up, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when no one believes in you, because the truth is, you don't need validation from anyone. You're not doing this to impress people. You're doing this to honor your own potential. One day, all those quiet days of effort will speak for you. People will call it luck, talent, or timing. But you'll know the truth. It was consistency. The weight you carried daily, the discipline you built in silence, and that weight, though heavy, is what shapes greatness. So, keep going. Keep building. Keep believing. because the small things you do every day are building the big life you've always dreamed of. The storm within. At some point in your journey, the world around you will grow quiet, and the noise will start inside your mind. The doubts, the fears, the old voices that whisper, "You can't do this." That's when you'll face your greatest enemy. Not time, not failure, not circumstances, but your own inner storm. This storm doesn't announce itself. It creeps in slowly, disguised as tiredness, procrastination, or self-doubt. It tells you that you've done enough, that maybe you were never meant for more. And if you listen to it long enough, it starts to sound like truth. But here's the secret. Every storm that appears in your mind is temporary. It only has power if you believe its lies. You see, your mind is a master storyteller. It remembers your failures louder than your wins. It exaggerates your weaknesses and forgets your strengths. And if you're not careful, it convinces you that the storm is permanent. But no storm lasts forever. The wind howls, the rain falls, the darkness presses in, but then silence. The clouds break and light returns. Always. When you're in the middle of it, though, it feels endless. You question everything. You start wondering why you began in the first place. You look for signs, for proof that your effort means something. And when you don't find it, you start to lose hope. That's the test. That's the moment that separates those who make it from those who stop halfway. Because everyone faces the storm, but not everyone chooses to walk through it. You can't escape it. You can't outrun it. You can only face it, head on. You face it by showing up one more day, by refusing to give in, by whispering to yourself, "This is hard, but it's not the..." Every storm you survive changes you. It strips away the things you don't need, your doubts, your fears, your false identities, and leaves behind something pure, resilience. Resilience isn't loud or flashy. It doesn't look like victory from the outside. It's quiet. It's personal. It's the calm voice inside that says, "I've been through worse." When life throws chaos your way, remember, the storm is not there to break you. It's there to build you. It's a training ground for strength you didn't know you had. It's how the universe prepares you for what you asked for. You wanted growth? Then expect resistance. You wanted strength? Then expect struggle. You wanted peace? Then expect to face your chaos first. The storm is not a punishment. It's preparation. In the middle of it, you'll want to quit. You'll feel lost, maybe even betrayed by life itself. But understand this, growth never feels comfortable. You cannot evolve and stay the same at the same time. Change feels like breaking, but it's actually becoming. It's the shedding of an old version of you that no longer fits the future you're growing into. When you feel like everything's falling apart, sometimes it's actually falling into place. There's a peace that only comes after the storm. It's not the peace of perfection, it's the peace of survival. It's the quiet pride that says, "I didn't give up." You start to walk differently after that. Not with arrogance, but with calm confidence. Because once you've faced your own chaos and survived, the world can't scare you anymore. You've seen yourself at your weakest and still found a way to stand. You felt lost and still kept walking. You've been broken and still rebuilt yourself. That's strength no one can take from you. When you're caught in your storm, when everything feels dark and you can't see the way forward, do one simple thing. Breathe. Remind yourself that you've been through hard things before, and just like every time before, you will make it through this too. You don't need to see the whole path right now. You just need to take the next small step. One act of courage, one moment of faith, one decision not to give up. Because courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it. One day, you'll look back and thank this storm. You'll realize it didn't destroy you. It refined you. It burned away your doubts and forged your character. It taught you what real strength is, so don't curse the storm. Don't run from it. Face it with calm and courage, because after every storm, the air feels cleaner, the sky looks brighter, and the person you become, wiser, calmer, stronger, is worth every drop of rain. Rebuilding from within. After every storm comes silence, the kind that feels both peaceful and unfamiliar. You've survived, but survival alone isn't the end. Now comes the hardest part of all, rebuilding. Rebuilding isn't about going back to who you were. That version of you no longer exists. The storm changed you. It broke your illusions, stripped away your fears, and forced you to see what truly matters. Now you must rebuild, not from memory, but from meaning. This is where true growth begins, in the quiet aftermath, when the noise fades and you're left alone with yourself. At first, it feels strange. You look around and realize how much has shifted. Your goals, your mindset, your priorities, even the things you once chased so desperately may no longer fit. That's not failure. That's evolution. When you rebuild from within, you don't just restore what was lost. You create something stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your truth. The first step in rebuilding is acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean you approve of everything that happened. It means you stop fighting the past. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what now? You can't rebuild if you're still clinging to what broke. Let it go, not because it doesn't matter, but because it already served its purpose. Pain is a teacher. It enters your life to show you what needs healing, what needs to change, and what needs to end. Once you've learned the lesson, holding on to pain only keeps the wound open. So breathe. Acknowledge what hurt you, honor it, and then release it. You're not defined by what happened. You're defined by what you do next. The next step is forgiveness. And this might be the hardest one. Forgive the people who hurt you. Not because they deserve peace, but because you do. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you made, for the times you settled, for the moments you didn't know better. You can't build a new life with the weight of guilt on your back. Forgiveness is freedom. It clears the space for growth to take root. Once you've accepted and forgiven, it's time to redefine yourself. Ask yourself, who am I now? What truly matters to me? Because storms have a strange gift. They strip away everything unnecessary. They force you to see what's real. And when the dust settles, you're left with only the essentials. Your values, your dreams, your inner strength. Use this moment to reconnect with your purpose. Maybe it's to help others. Maybe it's to build something that outlives you. Maybe it's simply to live more honestly and fearlessly. Whatever it is, rebuild with intention. Don't just go back to living. Start creating. Rebuilding takes time. Some days you'll move forward confidently. Other days you'll feel lost again. That's normal. Healing is not linear. It's a series of rises and falls. But every time you rise higher than before. Progress isn't always visible. Sometimes it's just waking up and deciding to keep going. Sometimes it's choosing peace over revenge. Sometimes it's smiling again after weeks of darkness. Every small act of healing counts. As you rebuild, remember, you don't need to rush. Slow progress is still progress. Don't compare your journey to others. Their timelines aren't yours. What's meant for you will never miss you, no matter how long it takes. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. Every step you take now is shaping the foundation of your new self. One that's more grounded, more grateful, more aware. The old you chased perfection. The new you values peace. The old you sought approval. The new you seeks purpose. The old you feared endings. The new you understands that endings are beginnings in disguise. Rebuilding isn't about erasing the past. It's about integrating it. The scars, the lessons, the resilience, they're part of your story now. Don't hide them. Don't be ashamed of them. They're proof that you've lived, that you've endured, that you've grown. Every scar has a story, and yours will remind others that healing is possible, because one day, someone will look at you, calm, strong, peaceful, and have no idea how much it took to rebuild yourself. And that's okay. You don't need to explain. Your energy will tell the story for you. So take your time. Build slowly. Build intentionally. Build with love, not fear. You're not rebuilding from scratch. You're rebuilding from experience. And that means you're already ahead. You've faced the storm. You've survived the fall. Now it's time to rise, not as the person you were, but as the person you were meant to become. Because the real victory isn't in never falling, it's in standing tall again, stronger than ever, and whispering to yourself, I made it through. The power of self-belief. When you've rebuilt yourself from the ground up, there comes a quiet moment, a pause. You look around and realize how far you've come, but deep inside, another challenge begins to rise. It's not about surviving anymore. It's about believing again, because even after you heal, a small voice sometimes whispers, can I really do this? That voice is doubt, and it's clever. It doesn't scream anymore like it used to during the storm. It just lingers quietly, testing your confidence. Self-belief is the bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. It's not arrogance. It's not blind optimism. It's faith in your ability to grow through anything. When you believe in yourself, you unlock a power that no one can give or take away. It's the kind of power that doesn't depend on applause, validation, or permission. It comes from the inside, from knowing your worth, from trusting your journey, from remembering everything you've already overcome. Here's the truth most people never realize. You don't need the world to believe in you. You just need you, because belief is like a seed. It grows quietly inside, long before the world ever sees its bloom. You may not have proof yet. You may not have results yet. But the moment you start believing, the transformation begins. Every great change starts in the unseen, in the thoughts you choose, in the words you tell yourself, in the stories you decide to believe. If you keep telling yourself you're not enough, you'll build a life around limitation. But if you remind yourself that you can, you'll start building a life around possibility. Belief is the foundation of every success story. Before every achievement, there was doubt. Before every victory, there was uncertainty. The only difference between those who made it and those who gave up is one side chose to believe a little longer. So, believe, even when it's hard. Believe, even when no one else does. Believe, even when you can't see the path ahead. Because belief is not about guarantees. It's about commitment. It's about saying, I don't know how yet, but I will find a way. That kind of mindset shifts everything. Think about every time you've been through darkness. You found a way, didn't you? You may have been scared, lost, uncertain, but you still moved forward. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's your resilience, your quiet proof that you can trust yourself. Self-belief isn't built by success. It's built by survival. Every time life knocked you down and you got back up, you were strengthening your belief. Every time you kept going when it hurt, you were proving to yourself that you have what it takes. And now, it's time to own that truth. Stop underestimating what you've already overcome. Stop downplaying your strength just because no one else saw the battle. The world may not know your journey, but you do. You know the nights you cried and still showed up the next day. You know the moments you wanted to quit, but didn't. You know the pain you turned into purpose. That's proof, living proof, that you can trust yourself. Self-belief isn't about having all the answers. It's about knowing you'll figure it out. It's the quiet confidence that says, even if I fall, I'll rise again. It's not perfection, it's perseverance. And when you start to believe in yourself fully, something incredible happens. You stop chasing approval. You stop fearing rejection. You stop waiting for permission. You start living. You start creating. You start becoming unstoppable. Belief changes how you move, how you speak, how you see the world. When you believe, you walk differently, not with pride, but with purpose. Your energy shifts. People feel it. Opportunities begin to appear because your belief acts like a magnet for what aligns with you. You stop forcing things and start attracting what belongs to you. Because the universe doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to belief backed by action. When you combine belief with persistence, there's nothing you can't build. So from this moment on, guard your belief like treasure. Protect it from doubt, from negativity, from people who gave up on their own dreams. Not everyone will understand your vision, and that's okay. It wasn't given to them. It was given to you. Walk with faith, even when your path feels unclear. Trust that you are guided even when you can't see the full plan. Because when your belief is strong, everything else aligns in time. You've rebuilt yourself. You've healed your wounds. Now it's time to rise with unshakable belief. You are capable. You are ready. You are enough. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. Your belief creates it. You don't need to see the destination. Your faith leads you to it. You just need to keep reminding yourself every day, I believe in me, because once you truly do, the world has no choice but to believe too. Finding purpose again. After belief comes clarity. After the storm quiets and the pieces fall into place, a question begins to rise from within. Why am I here? It's a question that echoes softly in the stillness of your mind, not demanding an answer, but inviting discovery. Purpose isn't something you find on a map or in someone's advice. It's something you uncover layer by layer as you learn who you are and what truly moves your heart. Purpose begins as a whisper, a pull, a feeling deep inside that says, "This is what I was made for." It's not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it hides behind fear, routine, or the expectations of others. But it's always there, waiting for you to listen. Many people spend their whole lives searching for purpose in the wrong places, in titles, money, approval, or comparison. But purpose doesn't live there. Purpose is not found in the noise of achievement. It's found in the quiet honesty of the soul. It's when you do something that makes you lose track of time, when your actions bring light to others, when your heart feels full, not because of recognition, but because you know you're doing something that matters. Purpose isn't always grand or dramatic. It doesn't have to change the entire world. It just needs to change yours. Maybe your purpose is to create beauty through art. Maybe it's to teach, to help, to heal, to inspire. Maybe your purpose is simply to bring kindness into spaces that have forgotten it. Whatever it is, it's real. It's yours, and it deserves to be lived. The truth is, your purpose isn't discovered through perfection. It's revealed through experience. Through trying, failing, learning, and trying again. You won't always know where you're going, but purpose doesn't need certainty. It just needs movement. Every step you take, every mistake, every success, teaches you something about what matters most to you. Purpose isn't about having everything figured out. It's about aligning your actions with your heart, one day at a time. When you live with purpose, you stop chasing and start creating. You stop asking, "What do I get?" and start asking, "What can I give?" And that shift changes everything. Because fulfillment doesn't come from having more. It comes from becoming more. More compassionate, more grateful, more intentional, more alive. You start to see that happiness isn't in the future. It's in the meaning you bring to the present. Maybe you've been feeling lost lately, like you're wandering without direction, but sometimes being lost is the beginning of being found. Because when everything familiar fades, you finally begin to see what's real. It's okay not to know your exact path yet. The truth is, purpose is not a destination. It's a way of walking. It's how you show up in the world, how you treat people, how you turn pain into wisdom and struggle into strength. You don't need a perfect plan to live with purpose. You just need the courage to keep following what feels right. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What makes me forget to check my phone, lose track of time, and smile for no reason? What kind of work makes me proud, not because it's praised, but because it's meaningful? Those moments are clues. Each one is a compass pointing toward your purpose. Follow them, not with pressure, but with curiosity. You don't need to have all the answers today. You just need to be willing to take the next step, and then the next. Purpose isn't something you choose. It's something you remember. It's already inside you, written in your spirit long before you doubted your worth. Every challenge you've faced, every lesson you've learned, they weren't random. They were shaping you into the person capable of fulfilling that purpose. Your scars aren't signs of weakness. They're symbols of preparation. Each one tells a story of survival, of growth, of becoming who you were meant to be, and one day you'll look back and realize nothing was wasted. Every detour, every heartbreak, every delay was guiding you toward meaning. The beauty of purpose is that it evolves with you. Who you were 5 years ago may not be who you are now, and that's okay. As you grow, your purpose deepens. It expands with your understanding. It changes shape as your heart learns new truths. So never fear change. It's just purpose transforming into its next form. When you begin to live with purpose, even ordinary days start to feel sacred. You wake up grateful. You move through challenges with patience. You see the beauty in small things, the sunlight through your window, a kind word, a moment of peace. You stop living to impress and start living to express. You stop needing everything to be perfect and start realizing that meaning itself is enough. So, if you're still searching for purpose, remember, it's not hiding from you. It's waiting for you to slow down and notice. It's waiting for you to silence the noise of the world and listen to the quiet voice inside that says, "This is what you were made for." Follow that voice. Trust that it knows the way. Because when you live from purpose, every step feels lighter, every challenge feels meaningful, and every day becomes a part of something bigger than you. You don't need to chase your purpose. You just need to live in alignment with your truth. And when you do, you won't just exist. You'll live. Fully, freely, purposefully. Turning purpose into action. Purpose means nothing until it's lived. It's one thing to feel inspired, but it's another to act on that inspiration. To wake up every day and make your purpose visible in the real world. Because purpose isn't found in thoughts. It's revealed through motion, through the small, consistent choices you make, even when no one's watching. That's where your power lies. Not in the moments of excitement, but in the quiet hours of commitment. Everyone dreams of transformation, but few are willing to face the discipline it requires. We love the idea of growth, but the truth is, growth demands work. It asks you to show up, especially on the days when you don't feel like it. And yet that's exactly what purpose needs. Consistency. Not perfection, not speed, on just showing up, because showing up is a declaration of belief. Every time you do what you said you would, you're proving to yourself that your words have power. Purpose without action is like a seed left in the dark. It holds potential, but never becomes what it's meant to be. So take your purpose, that quiet truth you've discovered, and give it a life through discipline. Start small. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just start with one habit, one promise, one consistent act of alignment. Discipline doesn't mean pressure. It means devotion. It means loving your purpose enough to work for it. You see, the world is full of dreamers, but it's discipline that separates the dreamers from the doers. Dreamers talk about what could be. Doers wake up early, practice, repeat, refine, and keep going even when it's hard. Discipline is love in motion. It's saying, I believe in this so much, I'm willing to give it my time. And when your purpose meets your discipline, you create something unstoppable. Momentum. Momentum is a quiet force. It builds in the background, one small act at a time. It's not flashy, it's not instant, but one day, you look back, and you've built a life that feels aligned, peaceful, meaningful. That's what purpose through action does. It turns your intentions into impact. Don't wait for motivation to appear. Motivation fades. It's emotion-driven, temporary, unpredictable. But discipline stays. Discipline says, I'll show up even when I don't feel like it. And something magical happens when you do. The act itself creates its own energy. You start feeling better because you acted. You build confidence not from thinking, but from doing. Action heals doubt. Action quiets fear. Action turns belief into evidence. Think about this. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You don't need to know the final outcome to begin. Just act. In faith, in purpose, in alignment, every small step compounds. Every repeated effort strengthens your foundation. Every disciplined day builds the version of you you've always dreamed of becoming. You might fail. That's okay. You might fall behind. That's okay too. The goal isn't perfection. It's persistence. The person who keeps going, even slowly, always outgrows the person who waits for the right time. Because there is no perfect time. There's only now, and now is always enough to begin. Turn your purpose into a daily practice. Wake up with intention. Set boundaries that protect your focus. Build routines that support your growth. Don't underestimate the power of simple things done consistently. Reading a few pages, writing your thoughts, exercising, learning, creating, helping others. These aren't small acts. They're bricks, the building blocks of your meaningful life. Discipline turns purpose into structure. Structure turns purpose into results. And as you continue, you'll notice something shift. You'll start trusting yourself more. You'll start needing less external validation. Because you'll realize, I can rely on me. That's the quiet power of consistency. It teaches you to trust your own strength. No matter what happens outside, you know that inside, you'll keep showing up. And that's what real confidence is. Not arrogance, not ego, but reliability. Some days will feel heavy. You'll question if it's worth it. You'll wonder if anyone notices, if anyone cares. But that's when you remind yourself, you're not doing this for applause. You're doing it for alignment. Your purpose isn't a performance, it's a practice. And every time you live it out, you become more of who you're meant to be. Here's the truth. You can't control how fast you grow, but you can control how faithfully you show up. You can't predict every outcome, but you can choose your effort every day. That's enough. That's everything. Because when you live your purpose in daily action, you stop chasing meaning, you start embodying it. And when you embody it long enough, you inspire others to do the same, not through your words, but through your presence, your example, your consistency. So, wake up tomorrow with quiet strength. Start small. Take one meaningful action, then another, then another. Keep showing up. Keep trusting the process. Keep honoring the purpose that chose you, because one day you'll look back and realize every small act of discipline was a prayer, and every answered prayer was built by your consistency. Through the storms, overcoming failure and fear, no matter how clear your purpose is, no matter how disciplined you become, there will be days when the fire dims. Days when progress feels invisible, when effort seems pointless, when doubt creeps in again, whispering, maybe it's not worth it. And that's okay. Because every purpose-driven soul walks through valleys. Every dreamer faces the shadow of fear and the weight of exhaustion. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're growing. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the path that leads to it. Every stumble, every mistake, every detour is a chapter in the book of becoming. But when we fail, our instinct is to stop, to freeze, to question our worth, to compare our journey to someone else's highlight reel. That's when you must remember, the process was never meant to be easy. Growth demands friction. Progress demands resistance. The storm is not here to destroy you. It's here to shape you. When failure visits, don't fight it. Face it. Ask it what it's trying to teach you. Every setback holds a message if you're brave enough to listen. Maybe it's teaching you patience. Maybe it's teaching you humility. Maybe it's redirecting you toward something greater. The truth is, failure doesn't define you. Your response does. You can let it harden you, or you can let it strengthen you. You can see it as an ending, or as evidence that you're still trying, because people who never fail are people who never try. When fear arrives, it often disguises itself as logic. It says things like, be realistic. It makes you doubt your timing, your talent, your potential. But fear is not a signal to stop. It's a sign that you're standing at the edge of growth. Fear means you're expanding. It means you're about to step into the unknown. And that's where transformation lives. So instead of asking, how do I get rid of fear? Ask, how do I walk with it? Because courage is not the absence of fear. It's the choice to keep moving in spite of it, and then comes burnout, the silent exhaustion that whispers, I can't anymore. It's not weakness. It's your body and soul asking for balance. Purpose doesn't mean running yourself into the ground. It means walking with wisdom. Even the strongest fire needs time to rest, to refuel, to breathe. So when you feel burnt out, don't quit. Pause. Step back. Reconnect with why you started. You are not losing your purpose. You are learning to sustain it. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is rest. Rest is not laziness. It's strategy. It's sacred. It's how you refill the energy that discipline drains. Sit in silence. Take a walk. Spend time in nature. Listen. Not to the world, but to your soul. You'll hear it, that quiet voice reminding you this is just a moment, not the end. When progress slows, remember, growth often happens underground. Just like seeds take time to root before they rise, your efforts are doing work you can't yet see. Keep showing up. Keep watering your dream, because even if nothing seems to move on the surface beneath the soil, something is becoming. And one morning, maybe when you least expect it, the bloom will appear. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where you're meant to be, learning the lessons you'll need for what's next. So stop rushing the process. Stop blaming yourself for not being there yet. Life is not a race. It's a rhythm. And every season, even the difficult ones, serves a purpose. Failure taught you resilience. Fear taught you courage. Burnout taught you balance. Each one shaped a piece of your strength. Without them, you wouldn't have depth. Without them, you wouldn't understand compassion, empathy, or patience. The pain you've carried is not a punishment. It's preparation. It's shaping you into the kind of person who can handle the greatness you're building. You've been through storms before, and you're still here. That means you already know how to survive what tries to break you. So trust that this storm too will pass. Breathe. Take it one moment at a time. Focus on the next right step. Nothing more. And remind yourself, even when I fall, I am still on the path. Because the path is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. When the world doubts you, believe anyway. When fear shouts, move anyway. When failure hurts, learn anyway. When exhaustion comes, rest and then rise again. That's how warriors are built. That's how believers become leaders. That's how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. One day, you'll look back and realize that what you thought was a breakdown was actually a breakthrough. You were not losing your strength. You were discovering it. You were not falling apart. You were falling into alignment. Every scar, every tear, every sleepless night, they were all part of your becoming. And now, with eyes wiser and heart stronger, you can finally see. You were never walking through darkness alone. The storm was guiding you home, back to yourself, the art of inner peace. There comes a point in your journey when success stops being about what you can gain and starts being about what you can let go of. Let go of the noise. Let go of the comparison. Let go of the endless need to prove your worth. Because true peace isn't something you chase. It's something you allow. It begins the moment you stop fighting everything around you and start making peace with what is. You see, we spend so much of life chasing moments, waiting for the next goal, the next win, the next approval, believing that once we get there, we'll finally feel calm. But peace doesn't live in the future. It lives here now, in the breath you're taking as you listen, in the stillness between your thoughts, in the quiet knowing that you are already enough. You don't have to earn peace. You just have to remember it. Inner peace begins when you stop being at war with yourself, when you forgive yourself for the past, when you stop replaying mistakes that can't be changed, when you stop trying to be everything for everyone. Peace is not perfection. It's permission. Permission to just be. It's waking up in the morning and saying, I don't have all the answers, but I'm grateful to be alive to find them. It's learning to breathe through the chaos instead of running from it. Gratitude is the doorway to peace, because gratitude changes how you see the world. When you focus on what's missing, life feels empty. When you focus on what's present, life feels full. Every day gives you something to be thankful for. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, a kind word from someone who cares, the strength you found after the storm. Gratitude turns the ordinary into the sacred. It transforms pain into wisdom and chaos into clarity. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control what grows within you. Peace is an inside job. It's not built by the world. It's built by your response to it. So when life feels heavy, don't look for something outside to fix it. Look inward. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that I can release? Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's regret. Maybe it's the belief that you're not enough. Whatever it is, breathe it out. Make space for calm. Because peace is not the absence of problems. It's the presence of perspective. When you cultivate inner peace, you stop reacting and start responding. You no longer get lost in the drama of others. You begin to see things as they are, not as your fear paints them to be. Peace gives you clarity. It gives you control over yourself. And that's the truest form of power. No one can disturb your calm without your permission. No one can take your peace unless you hand it over. And once you learn that, you become free. Stillness is strength. The world may tell you that you need to hustle, rush, grind, but peace tells you, breathe. Go at your own pace. Move with intention, not urgency. Because what's meant for you will never pass you by. You don't have to chase your destiny. You just have to align with it. And peace is that alignment. It's the quiet confidence that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. If you want to live in peace, you must also practice forgiveness. Not for others, but for yourself. Forgive yourself for not knowing sooner. For staying too long, for trying too hard, for breaking down before you broke through. You did the best you could with what you had, and that's enough. Peace is what happens when you stop punishing yourself for being human. When your heart is calm, your mind becomes clear. You start to see that the small things, the quiet, the simple, the gentle, are the real treasures of life. You start to crave moments over milestones, presence over perfection, meaning over movement. And that shift changes everything. You stop existing in survival mode and start living in serenity. The key to lasting peace is acceptance. Not the kind that makes you give up, but the kind that lets you breathe and say, this moment may not be what I planned, but I trust that it's part of something bigger. Acceptance doesn't mean you don't want change. It means you've made peace with the process. You understand that everything, even the uncertainty, has purpose. So take a deep breath. Right here, right now, you don't need to be anywhere else. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to rush toward the next chapter. Peace is in this very moment, in the pause between your inhale and exhale, in the stillness you often overlook, in the silence that speaks louder than words. Life will always have noise, but you don't have to let that noise live inside you. You can learn to stand in the storm and still feel calm in your soul. That's the art of inner peace, being centered in a world that tries to pull you apart. And once you find that peace, you'll stop chasing happiness because you'll realize you already have it. Living light, the secret to lasting happiness. Happiness is not something you find, it's something you create. It's not hidden in a place, a person, or a perfect moment. It's born from the way you see life, from the way you meet each day with gratitude instead of expectation. Lasting happiness isn't loud. It's quiet. It's peaceful. It's the feeling of being fully alive, even in ordinary moments. We've been taught to chase happiness like a prize, to believe that once we have enough money, success, or love, then we'll finally be content. But the truth is simpler. Happiness isn't the result of having more. It's the art of needing less. It's not about adding things to your life, and it's about removing what weighs you down. The comparisons, the pressure, the unrealistic expectations. When you let go of what doesn't matter, you make room for what does. Happiness begins when you stop trying to control everything. Because control is heavy, it keeps you tense, anxious, afraid of losing. But freedom comes from trust. Trusting that you'll be okay even if things don't go perfectly. Trusting that what's meant for you won't pass you by. The more you try to hold on, the more life slips away. But when you let go, when you allow life to flow, you start to dance with it instead of fighting against it. That's when happiness moves through you naturally. Like a river returning to its path, joy lives in simplicity, in the first sip of tea in the morning, in sunlight on your face, in laughter shared with someone who truly sees you. You don't have to travel the world to find peace. You just have to open your eyes where you stand. The ordinary moments are not ordinary at all. They're the canvas of your soul's happiness. Happiness also grows when you stop living for approval, when you stop needing to prove your worth, because true joy cannot coexist with constant comparison. The day you stop measuring your life by someone else's yardstick is the day you start to feel free. You are not behind. You are not lacking. You are simply you, a unique expression of life, learning at your own pace. Your joy will look different from others, and that's the beauty of it. There is no single way to be happy. There is only your way. Gratitude deepens happiness. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, your heart begins to rest. You start noticing that even small things carry meaning. A message, a memory, a moment of beauty. Every breath becomes a gift. Every challenge becomes a teacher. Gratitude doesn't ignore pain. It reminds you that even in pain, there's still light. And that light is enough to guide you through. To live joyfully, you must live lightly. That means forgiving easily, loving openly, and releasing quickly. Don't hold on to what was never meant to stay. Anger, resentment, regret. They weigh you down and steal your peace. Let life move through you. Let people go with grace. Let moments pass without needing them to last forever. Because happiness flows best when your hands are open, not clenched. Emotional freedom is not about avoiding pain. It's about not becoming trapped by it. It's the ability to feel deeply but not drown in what you feel. It's understanding that emotions are visitors. They come, they stay for a while, and then they leave. You are not your sadness. You are not your anger. You are the sky that holds them, vast, calm, unbreakable. Once you learn this, you stop fearing your feelings. You start allowing them to move through you without defining who you are. Happiness is a daily practice. It's built in small moments, when you choose kindness over criticism, patience over frustration, presence over distraction. You don't need perfect days to feel happy. You just need to notice the good ones and find something beautiful in the others. Because happiness isn't a destination, it's a way of traveling. If you want more happiness in your life, slow down. Stop waiting for big events to feel alive. Look closer. There's magic in the smallest things. In your morning routine, in a conversation, in the sound of rain. Joy hides in plain sight. It's in the pauses, the breaths, the in-betweens, and when you live with awareness, you start realizing you don't need a perfect life to feel perfectly at peace. Lasting happiness also comes from contribution, from giving more than you take. When you share your energy, your kindness, your love, you multiply your joy, because happiness expands when it's shared. It echoes in others and comes back to you tenfold. The more you give, the more you realize that joy was never meant to be kept. It was meant to be passed on. So live lightly. Laugh often. Forgive quickly. Love deeply. And remember, you don't have to chase happiness. You just have to stop running from it. It's already here, in this moment, in this breath, in you. Mastering the mind, the silent power within. The mind is your greatest ally and your greatest enemy. It can build empires, or it can destroy peace. It can push you forward with faith, or hold you back with fear. To master life, you must first master your mind. Because every decision, every emotion, every action begins as a thought. Your reality doesn't start outside you. It starts within you. Most people live their whole lives ruled by an undisciplined mind. They think without awareness, react without reflection, and believe everything they feel. But thoughts are not facts. They're just signals. waves that pass through consciousness. When you stop attaching to them, you begin to discover the vast stillness behind them. That stillness is your true power. Mastering your mind begins with observation. Before you can change your thoughts, you must first see them clearly. Pause. Listen to the voice in your head. Is it kind or critical? Hopeful or fearful? Notice what it says when you fail, when you're alone, when things don't go your way. Awareness is the first act of freedom, because the moment you notice your thoughts, you are no longer trapped by them. You become the witness, not the prisoner. Once you learn to observe your thoughts, you can begin to choose them. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of doubt and anger, you'll grow weeds. But if you plant seeds of peace, gratitude, and purpose, your life will bloom. Every morning you have that choice. To feed fear or to feed faith. To replay problems or to rehearse gratitude. Your inner dialogue becomes your outer experience. You are the storyteller of your own mind, and every story you repeat, you start to believe. Negative thoughts are not your enemy. They're your teachers. They show you where you are still afraid, where you still carry pain, where healing is needed. Don't fight them. Face them with compassion. Ask, what are you trying to teach me? And then, let them go. A mastered mind doesn't silence negativity by force. It transforms it through understanding. Meditation is the gym of the mind. It's where you strengthen focus, train awareness, and build peace that no chaos can break. You don't need candles or silence to meditate. You just need presence. Be aware as you breathe. Feel the air move in and out. Notice the space between each breath. That is where peace lives. Meditation isn't about escaping the world. It's about returning to yourself. When you master your mind, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. The world may still test you, but it can no longer control you. You become unshakable, like a mountain standing still while storms pass overhead. The storm makes noise, but the mountain remains. That's the essence of inner mastery. Unmoved peace in motion. Thoughts are energy. They shape emotion, behavior, and even body chemistry. That's why you must choose them carefully. When you think, I can't, your body weakens. When you think, I will, your body activates. The mind and body are mirrors. Train one and the other follows. Feed your mind strength, and you will walk stronger. Feed it calmness, and you will speak gentler. Feed it purpose, and you will live braver. Don't let your mind become your master. Make it your servant. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them, the consciousness observing. The mind loves noise. It loves to predict, compare, and control. But your soul speaks in silence. Listen to that silence more often. When the mind quiets, clarity rises. Answers appear naturally because truth doesn't shout. It whispers. Reprogramming your mind takes patience. It's not about forcing positivity. It's about replacing fear with understanding and chaos with clarity. Each time you catch a negative thought and choose peace instead, you strengthen a new neural path. Each time you choose calm over anger, you rewire your brain for strength. That's how mental mastery is built, not overnight, but through gentle repetition. To master the mind is to master the moment. And when you master the moment, you master your life. So breathe, observe, choose. Because every thought you allow builds the world you live in. You are not trapped by your mind. You are its creator, its sculptor, its quiet commander. And the day you truly understand that, you will realize you've had the power all along.